Yeah. Militant-minded general, 9 gripped, equipped with blades and a pen that can sharpen your spine's tip. Level-headed, though my mind flips from side to side with an acrobat's experience. After I stick it, I'm luring down a demon-possessed Ahiye. Seems Jay's the best for the job with no code.
Do you know what today is?
Oh my God.
It's our anniversary.
Oh my God.
Anniversary. What's the word? You got to do the 10-minute song for that one.
Oh, no. Damn.
What's the word, y'all? It's KTR_podcast, Another Roast Podcast. You are now live and direct with your boys, Cinko, Big Harv, and J-Bo himself for episode 27, our 1-year anniversary episode.
Year already.
1 year of Another Roast Podcast, 1 year of hashtag KTR, 1 year with these guys. And it's been a hell of a run. It's been a hell of a journey. And we're going to get right into this episode 27. But before we get started with this episode 27.
That's right.
It was one simple favor for us,
We
please, and thank you.
thing.
You don't have to, but it'll be real nice if you did. For our 1 year, please and thank you. Go follow us on all social media platforms, KTR_podcast, Twitter and Instagram, Know the Roast Podcast, Facebook and YouTube. Know the Roast Podcast on all podcast platforms. Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Podbean. We are on everything. And don't forget to get your merch at ProWrestlingTees.com/KTR Podcast.
It's that easy.
That's simple.
That's simple.
We got shirts on shirts on shirts on shirts for y'all to buy and buy and buy and buy. Support the movement, get that merch, and let's get it. Let's go. How y'all doing today? My bad. I didn't ask you about y'all today.
It's all right. The 1 year episode, you had to, get the formalities out the way. I'm good. This is a good Saturday for me. How about you, Big Harv?
It is a good Saturday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
This must be a good show because Harv said it's a good Saturday.
Wow.
He even surprised
Right.
himself.
I'm surprised me. He said something positive. Go ahead and sip up real quick.
Oh, man.
What a day it is.
Right.
day.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
1 year.
1 year. My God.
Yeah, we got nothing really bad to even be about. Yeah, I can get the excitement, the happiness.
That's right. That's right. So let's just dive into this episode real quick. Episode 27. Y'all want to start with the nitty gritty, the hard stuff. Y'all want to smooth into it. What y'all want to do? What direction want to go?
KTR, we always go right into it.
We gonna go right into it. We gonna go into the main topic of today's episode. That was been buzzing around the wrestling world for a minute. That's been on people's minds for the past months.
Yep.
That's been just on a roller coaster pretty much. VelveteenDream, aka Patrick Clark, has finally been released from WWE NXT. It's a lot to say about this topic.
It's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, so pretty much everybody knows what's going on with VelveteenDream and his recent allegations and situations within and outside of the WWE with his personal life too. And basically the man, he a whirlwind of fire pretty much.
Yep.
And he finally, spoke out, made a statement, a long statement. Personally, I feel like it was just a bunch of rambling, but hey, to each his own. But people were wanting him to be released for a while. They finally got what they wanted, and he finally spoke out about his allegations, kind of, and everything. I just gonna see how'd you feel about the statement?
How I feel about the statement? Well,
the situation. We can really touch on this it's a lot of subtopics that go into this main topic.
Okay. Well, let's just start off about his statements.
All right,
start
cool.
there.
We're gonna go there.
All right, so let's think about this. So as far as his statement, Velveteen's statement is concerned, yeah, it was generic as hell. Honestly, nothing in it stood out to me at all as far as, sincerity or it being real. it's one of those type of things that you put out there because you got caught, not because that it's something that you felt it was right to do. In fact, Velveteen, if you follow him on Instagram, he's known for like, you know, what are the use on you you know, secretly calling out different wrestlers. Like when Leo Rush got released, he did talk on him on that. When wrestlers were speaking up on certain things, he put, you know, his little comments and pictures and tweets out there. So he's known for like saying stuff even when he's under contract. I think with this one, it was more of the WWE telling him, hey, we know how you do, but just hush this time. All right, just hush. And then obviously now he got released. Yeah. Now the statement came out. So yeah, didn't really care too much for it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was insincere. It wasn't. Didn't really even touch on what the situation was. He didn't really talk about the actual allegations as much as he talked about his career within WWE. I feel like it was more of a farewell or more of a transitional type statement to his fans instead of taking responsibility for why he was actually fired. So. I didn't really care for it. I could have, you know, take it or leave it. I'd leave it. You know, it was weak.
Right. And I feel like with that, like when people like, especially if you release, you ain't got nothing. Well, he got more to lose still right now, but we got nothing to lose with your job at the moment. It's like when I saw him like kind of like tiptoe around the thing, in the back of my mind, I'm like, dang, he really is guilty for real. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And that's how I look at it like that. Especially he set himself for failure when he said. On that one post, my DMs are open. Yeah, like you are.
It reads very bad.
Exactly, you are a famous person. You're on a different pedestal now in life, so you can't do what normal people do. Yeah, anymore. You can't just you really can't just talk to regular people now on social media because you never know what they're capable of or what they can do. Yep. And it's kind of odd on your end if you are accused and guilty of the things that you quote unquote did in them DM conversations with a little boy. Yeah, that's another thing too. And that's nothing with my problem, you know, with talk children and everything. I'm like, I'm the way it's looking right now. I'm like, back in my mind, he guilty. I'm like, it is
a line in the sand. It's always a line in the sand. And he's over that mug.
And you know, I maybe because I don't know too much legal parameters that's involved in a situation like this, but I'm sorry, but if I did not do something, I'm going to straight out say I did not do it. And then do all the other legal. That's
how I feel. Like if I know I'm really not guilty,
I did not do it.
I'll say something like I didn't do it.
Right.
Like this is absurd. This is a lie. This is BS. Like something like that. He ain't say nothing.
Nothing like that. Whatever.
Like I like even if they did come out, I would make like a quick tweet or something. Like that's a lie or something like that. I'm like
that's
BS.
Right.
Like, wow, that's wild. He was like.
Well,
he was like a high schooler almost. He was like a kid.
He was like, back in my life, please don't put this up. He was like, it's too late, bro. Like,
he had to apologize to the class for misbehaving. Is basically
right.
Yeah.
And he tried to like dance around it, like I said, talking about his time in WWE. So it didn't really seem sincere at all. But also a couple hours ago, a couple websites started reporting that wasn't the reason that he was. I
was touching that too. Yeah, he was talking about his character too because he was trying to be. The Velveteen Dream as an actual person, rubbing people the wrong way, having backstage heat, things.
Apparently,
like
there
that.
was an incident that happened backstage, and another WWE wrestler snitched on him. They haven't revealed who did it yet. Right. I'm interested to find that out too. Yeah, but that's another layer to the situation we'll probably touch on as that's revealed. But it's crazy, man. He wasn't. He became really arrogant, and he wasn't. He was a jerk, you know what I'm saying? Like he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So a lot more went into it than the actual allegations. Yeah. I don't even think they really touched on like court dates and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on with that really. But
but usually when something like that was somebody that got like that much backstage heat, they just wait for that one thing. They be like, let's get
we gonna cut our losses.
Yeah. So
It's honestly disappointing overall because, I liked Velveteen as an in-ring wrestler. I'll even go on a limb and say he was one of the more surprising NXT standouts in his time because, he was Patrick Clark. He was in Tough Enough. No one really expected much from him. And then I know Harv, he spoke, like, no, the Velveteen gimmick, that'll work. And I'm like, well, that's kind of flamboyant even for somebody who didn't have much charisma at the time. But then I still remember his match with Aleister Black at NXT TakeOver, which turned out to be probably the top match of that night. Not just because of Aleister, but because of both and VelveteenDream.
Right.
So, yeah, I know. It's a bit disappointing, but whatever.
Yep, the dream is now over. It looks like it's going to come into a nightmare.
The Velveteen Night.
The Velveteen Nightmare.
He on the way if the best case scenario I see this going is him going the way of Ryback. He gonna be out here fishing for jobs. Everybody gonna be telling him to retire. Just cut it.
Right.
No, that
Just
Ryback
cut it.
thing was hilarious.
Find a new avenue.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. He's killing me. That dude is hilarious. He took the pole down and put up another pole.
Right.
3 times. Third time.
For those of y'all who haven't seen it, a while ago, Ryback put up a post on social media 3 times, and it says, he goes to TNA, AEW, back WWE, NXT, or retire. And each time the poll substantially voted for retire.
At least 80% of people were saying retire. And if he sees, we're probably going to be blocked by him. So
whatever. That was hilarious, man.
Hey, man, I liked you for a period of time. I'm not going to lie. Feed me more. I don't know what happened, brother.
Cool. While we're on the topic of people who are getting released, WWE seemed to make more releases over this past week.
Yep.
Yeah.
They released 60 plus employees. And 2 notable names from those employees that got released. One that we just found out recently, yesterday, was NXT's backstage digital announcer, Josiah Williams.
Yep.
Let go for the second time.
Yeah.
And he just got brought back like a couple months ago.
Yep.
Wild as hell.
Wow,
yeah.
And also another release that happened, which, I mean, it was a mutual understanding, was the announcer from, the main lead announcer from Raw. The guy's name, it was kind of tricky and long, but I said from the beginning, like a couple episodes ago, that it just wasn't a good fit. I didn't like it. Like when first, I'm like, it just didn't feel authentic. But like I said, I gave it a chance over week after week.
Yep.
And
some people just not fit for it.
It's like that's a different avenue, being like a commentator for WWE than it is for like an actual sport or like sporting event when it comes to boxing, MMA, basketball, football, baseball. It's different. Now, Pat McAfee, that man is a natural. He's built for it. You have
built for the business,
right? Business, you have to have that type of personality to fit in with this business and to be a commentator. Also, another release that caught me off guard, Tom Phillips.
That didn't make sense. Tom Phillips was,
like, at least bring him back to, like, he wasn't bad in my opinion.
Tom Phillips was solid.
Right.
He was solid on the mic.
So I never understood that. It may have been some backstage stuff going on because I just don't see how he got let go. He was doing good as the main lead commentator for Raw. He was there since 2012, so I don't see what could have happened recently that was gotten released.
No idea.
They still making cuts trying to make up this money, I feel like, man. Like, it cost a lot of money during COVID.
Yeah.
They had, they weren't making
the
it.
C word.
Hey,
well, we told you, but now we're gonna get
the notification. Last time.
I know, but
Anyway,
it's called a Paranera.
The Panama Sunrise. Because of that. Whose submission is that right now? Somebody uses that.
The Panama Sunrise.
Don't one of the Usos use that submission?
No.
They don't. Somebody use that right now. Anyway, because of that, I feel like they're still trying to make up money. And unfortunately, some people are going to get caught up in it. I don't think it might not necessarily be anything malicious or anything that happened backstage. They might just.
Yeah, I understand what budget-wise and stuff like that. But I don't get, like, my main issue was the releasing of Josiah Williams. Like,
I'm with you.
You brought him back. To release him again.
Don't
like,
make sense at all.
No.
That's a good young brother with a great heart.
Yep.
all around. I can't see him having no type of bad blood with nobody.
Nope.
They don't. But he's a good worker, and he's good backstage. He's good interacting with the superstars.
And he's reliable.
He's reliable,
yeah.
and he's providing great content for the WWE with his wrestling flow.
Yep. Especially.
He gave Cameron Grimes a great entrance music.
Man, that is probably one of the top entrances in NXT right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if I was him, I'm like, take the song off. You moving me, you got to move Cameron Grimes' song. I don't know what y'all gonna do.
Y'all better remix Ted DiBiase's theme song or something. You ain't using mine.
You ain't using my music if you just cut me twice.
Shoot, that's messed up, man.
But I know, like, that dude, he's a great dude. He got a lot ahead of him. Like, even if he doesn't continue with WB, like his resume is growing and growing. So he'll be fine wherever he goes. But I know he wanted to stay.
Yeah,
that's the messed up part about building relationships that end up getting cut for. I'm not saying no reason, but for just a budget relation. So
business. Business. Sad, really.
Yeah,
I get it.
God, just the panorama just had to mess up everything.
Yeah.
On the topic of the WWE, we're going big event coming up. Even though we got Hell in a Cell coming up soon.
Yep.
Who cares? Because we trying to party and kick it in that SummerSlam season coming in August. Not on the August 22nd, not on a Sunday, but August 21st. WWE announced that they were gonna have a pay-per-view on a Saturday night.
Gonna be wild in Vegas.
We don't know it's gonna be in Vegas though. Yeah, they haven't announced it.
Whatever.
Because they have options right now, and they were also releasing more of their tour dates for live shows for basically Raw and SmackDown and everything.
Right.
And so I looked around that time period. They're on the West Coast currently.
Okay.
For Raw and SmackDown for that weekend. So it's looking like the top two are going to be LA or Vegas. It's one of those two. Especially in that nice brand new football stadiums that they both got.
Yeah.
One for the Rams and the Chargers, the other one's for the Raiders.
Yeah.
It's going to be 100% capacity. So it's going to be like a post WrestleMania show.
Yeah.
Some going to get filled up, especially also with that. They bringing Cardi B as a host for SummerSlam. It's a strong rumor. They played a song on the preview on SmackDown recently, so it looked like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And she's also supposed to be in Vegas that same weekend performing. Don't ask how I know, but I know. But she is supposed to be out there that weekend, and especially if it's in Vegas. They got the Pacquiao fight at the MGM. Man.
Yeah.
So they have it in Vegas. We outside.
I almost made a really bad joke. I'll just text it to you.
All right. But what you think about the SummerSlam being on a Saturday night? Where you think it's gonna go?
I mean, there had to be pulling out all the stops, and they have to. If the rumor with Cardi B is true, then that's gonna be huge. If it's going to be 100% capacity, that's going to be huge as well on the Saturday, so they're trying to take advantage of the weekend. And then on top of all that, another rumor that's coming out is that they're trying to get John Cena to come in for a big blockbuster match with Roman Reigns, which I can see that happening. I mean, John Cena, he always teases stuff and don't actually go through with it. But this one, I can actually see happening because it's money. That's big money right there. Where Roman Reigns is right now, where John Cena's been doing outside of wrestling, I think that's going to be good for the sport. There's too many positives that can come out of this. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I will ever be excited for another John Cena match ever in my life.
Really?
He has a couple movies coming out. I'm very excited for his movies. I never thought I would say that. John Cena is actually a very capable actor. He has some very solid roles that
I feel like you not trying to give him no credit, but give him credit at the same time. Wait, he's a capable actor. That was it.
Hey, I enjoy a couple of his movies. All right, is that good enough for you? That I actually
there you go. Yeah, well, it's a little better. I'll go.
However, I don't think I will ever be excited for another John Cena match. All right, I don't want to see him wrestle in the jorts, all right, and the cap, and the neon shirts, and the elbow pads, and the wrist pad for whatever reason. The
elbow pads. That's actually a headband on his arm.
Why I don't know. All right,
Because
he got them for socks too. I don't
his
understand.
arm's too big for
All right,
regular armbands.
whatever. Now, if Ultimate Warrior could get some armbands,
Those were like
plastic. It was like trash bags shredded.
it was
I know
like
what they
stirrups,
were,
you
but
know,
they don't-
things like that people do like this, you know.
Yeah. I know. Just I'm not excited for John Cena. If he comes back, all right, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, what about the rest of
because it
SummerSlam
rains.
besides John Cena? It's more to it besides him.
SummerSlam.
Yeah. I mean, SummerSlam's always generally a solid show, so I feel like it's gonna be a good show. Cardi B is gonna bring another element to it if she's there. I feel like she knows how to get a crowd going, so that's gonna be good as well. So SummerSlam as a whole is probably gonna be good.
Where you think it's gonna be at?
Between LA and Vegas,
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, I think
I feel like
Vegas
Vegas
too.
got more going on at that time.
They do. I see.
They want to jump in.
I could kind of see him going to LA for a brief stint because that's always been the main spot for SummerSlam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It'd make like a triumphant return type.
yeah,
thing.
like that's the thing. So that would how I would see it, and also WrestleMania was supposed to be in LA.
Right.
This
that
this year actually. But no, they moved to Tampa, so
I still think they'll have it in Vegas because, like you said, normally LA is one of their biggest locations. So they're probably saving that for like a Royal Rumble or, other big event they could have. But yeah, I definitely see Vegas. And if, like I said, the rumor of Cardi B is true, if she's already going to be in Vegas, it just makes sense.
yeah, it's a 99% chance she's gonna be in Vegas that week. Don't ask how I know. But if they go to my second favorite place in the world, oh yeah, KTR is there. Well, at least I'm there. I know. I'm gonna drag them with me if they don't want to go.
Gosh, dude, trying to kill us.
Yep, y'all wives will forgive me eventually. It's cool, cause we gonna be outside.
Oh my God.
But anyway, moving on. We gonna let's see what we're gonna touch on. We're gonna save that one for last. We're gonna go on to the next one with the WWE.
I knew you was gonna say.
Yeah,
the
you
other
already know
one
I'm gonna say for last. Yeah, 'cause I'm gonna go in on that topic.
I bet you
Yeah,
will.
the WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling talking about a possible partnership with each other.
Yeah.
And there was like some article going around about that kind of rumor. Me personally, I don't see it happening. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's two different bodies of work trying to mesh into one.
Yeah.
It doesn't go together. WWE is more of not saying it's like a safe style, but on the regular, it's just safe style of wrestling, more towards entertainment than actual action until it gets to like the pay-per-view type deal. And New Japan Pro is basically the strong style, about the action, less entertainment. So I feel like you're trying to mesh two worlds into one like that. It's not gonna fit. I don't see it like going well. Like it'll be perfect because I know AEW has been doing stuff with New Japan. That works because those two styles fit. I just don't see the element of WWE and New Japan Pro mix into one. And if it's just a thing about just hoarding more superstars like what the WWE's used to, it's just gonna make it worse because it means it's gonna hold more superstars, push a lot of people to the back, hold them basically for ransom until after they get released for their 90-day period. And so it's a smart business move for WWE because they control everything.
Yeah.
So it makes sense if they can pull that off, but it's gonna hurt a lot of others in the long run and push them in the back for future opportunities and work. What you think?
WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling are the two largest wrestling organizations in the world.
Facts.
They do not need each other. Okay. WWE and in New Japan Pro Wrestling, if they were to go the next 5-10 years without doing any work with each other, they will both be fine. Okay. If anything, Cinko. If anything, let's just say the rumors were right and they were to do any type of business with each other, there's going to have to be a lot of pride being swallowed. Okay. Because WWE, they got their own way of doing things. They ain't going to try to change that. New Japan Pro Wrestling, they've been doing just well. They got their way of doing things. They're not going to want to change. So there's a whole lot of extra work that would need to go involved for that business partnership to work that neither one of them has to really do. So I can see some benefits coming out of it, but overall, like Cinko said, these are two completely different styles, and bringing them together is more business than actual on-screen wrestling performance showing. So I'm not really looking too much for it, just because I know how big the industries are. So they don't really need it.
It does not make sense. Flat out. It does not make any sense for them to work together. I read another article recently that it was reported that the deal that was proposed, which again makes me feel like it's more of a big rumor than anything, what was proposed was that WWE would be sending NXT and more mid-card to low-card wrestlers to New Japan to wrestle.
Oh my
You hear me? Like, just the details
Not
of
to be
what the deal is
disrespectful,
supposed to be it does not make sense. I don't think it's going to happen. It doesn't make sense for it to happen. No. If any WWE will eat them up. The wrestling style will destroy the WWE guys.
Exactly.
But business-wise, if WWE goes, they're going to take over. They're not going for some friendly business exchange.
Yeah, we'll do this if you do this for us.
Nah. They gonna do some Triple H and Steph, and they gonna marry somebody off to the company, and they gonna slowly take over from the inside. Yeah. That's how it's gonna happen. Yeah. But I don't think it's gonna. It doesn't make sense. They're neither company I don't feel like they're in dire need of each other for that to happen. Like you said, the companies that they already partner with make more sense. They have more mutual gain, mutual benefit. There's nothing immediate that would help between WWE and New Japan. Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
And you've seen what they've done with the stars that they've taken from New Japan. Yeah. The only one that's really been treated with any credibility is AJ Styles. Yeah. The only one. So it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
Nah. That's all I gotta say. That's it.
Nah. They're
Don't
fine.
do it.
They both been good throughout the pandemic. They're fine now. Now we're opening back up. So no.
Last topic of the anniversary show. Man. Let me get my water real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Flip all this stuff over. All of
it. Go ahead, man.
You watch your mouth.
I'm ready.
You watch your mouth, sir. All right.
Jim Ross. Good old JR.
Barbecue.
We just gonna go straight to the point.
Barbecue. JR's barbecue.
JR barbecue sauce. We gonna go. I ain't gonna say the whole article about it. We gonna go straight to the point.
Yeah.
He said.
What did he say?
Randall Keith Orton.
He put out his full name.
Is the best wrestler to lace up a pair of boots. Okay. The best wrestler of all time. Better than Kenny Omega. And I could not agree more.
Wrong.
100% agree. Tell me why I'm wrong. Why do you disagree? How isn't Randy Orton better than Kenny Omega?
Okay, this is gonna take a long time.
I got time.
No, you don't.
We got time.
All right, no, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet.
Right.
Okay. Kenny Omega has done way more
traveling
for actual wrestling as a whole than Randall Keith Orton. Kenny Omega is Canadian.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I speak to Mike. So
all right. He conquered. He's done his thing in America. He's done his thing in Japan. He's the top in the world. Orton hasn't proven himself the world over. Whoa. Orton's proven himself in WWE. That's it. Orton's arsenal has been the same. Orton's arsenal is arguably as limited right now as John Cena's was. Orton does the same stuff every single match. Every match. Orton has gone through so many light he's never changed anything. He's the light. He has light changes. He goes. He's switched sides many times. Big Show has. All right. He's boring. He has his times. He has had his stints, he has, where he's been completely boring. Nobody enjoyed Orton for long periods of time until he switched sides, until he made those slight little small changes. Orton is not trash, but Orton has nothing on Kenny Omega. Oh, sit down. You sit down. You sit down. You get over here, you take this. Come on. You sit down. I'm not done with you yet. No, I'm just no, seriously.
Proceed.
Seriously, he's not. He's what has Orton done on the level of what Kenny Omega has done the world over? I'm asking you.
No, I want you to get everything out so I can go in.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because we're going to have a back and forth.
We are going to have a back and forth.
Yeah, go ahead.
So repeat your question for me, please.
What has Orton done for wrestling as a whole compared to what Kenny Omega has done for wrestling as a whole, the world around?
Well, for first off, we're going to go into like this.
Okay.
WWE is not just a United States organization.
Yes, it is.
It's a global entertainment aspect.
Okay.
Everybody around the world can see what
They can see
do.
it. Okay.
Exactly. Just because you can't go see it in person, that's not our fault. Because we can't travel everywhere, especially can't travel nowhere because of the panorama. But that's another thing. But everybody in the world can see on TV.
Now you're talking about fame.
No. Because this is a way how we can get the his talent out to people. Okay. Just because Kenny Omega wrestles on the indies, and so only people that could see it is if you're at the show or if you got by like some third party TV stream thing, whatever, or watching somebody Facebook Live. But everybody around the world can see Randy Orton's great. Yeah, type on your phone real quick. Everybody can see.
I gotta have my rebuttal. I'm finna do this like a lawyer. Get my rebuttal.
Everybody can see Randy Orton's greatness and what he has done. And and you say that Kenny Omega has done a lot for wrestling, right? I'm gonna break this down for you real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna break this down for you real quick, okay?
Hit me with it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Kenny Omega wouldn't be nothing without Okada.
Okay.
If it wasn't for him, what main matches would he have in his life?
In Japan or period?
Period. Like what big standout match that doesn't feature Okada's name can you break down for him?
That's a good point. But only because he's had so many opponents on the indies. Kenny has put on clinical matches. I'm
gonna say this too real quick. Because I wasn't really. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really big on Kenny Omega until like all three of us started really engaging about wrestling for real. As a collective group, probably like a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And I started looking at some matches and started getting more informed about it because I was always a mainstream guy and everything.
Right.
I wasn't really deep in the indies until about like not gonna lie, a couple years ago. But as I look into his matches, now watch him more, and I especially watch him a lot now since he's on AEW. And I've been getting caught with New Japan Pro in the past year and seeing all this stuff like recent highlights and views. He's overrated to me.
Okay.
I'm like that. That's my opinion.
He's overrated, but Orton isn't overrated.
No, he's not.
Okay, so
go ahead.
My turn. Okay.
Yeah.
So to what you said
Yes.
originally about him being on TV worldwide.
Yes.
Again, that does not have anything to do with him being better. That has to do with exposure. Exposure doesn't equal greatness. That doesn't make sense. No.
Okay, it's your turn.
That doesn't
You're
make
right.
sense.
You're right. It's your turn.
That doesn't make a lick of sense.
You're right. It
Just
doesn't
because it doesn't make sense. Period. Just because more people see you, more people are aware of you, doesn't mean that you're better. That has nothing to do with you being better. Okay, you can say that you're better in more people's eyes. That's fine. But if we're having a conversation among people who actually know things, that doesn't matter.
Wait, what you mean know things?
We know that we are a podcast about wrestling. We know about wrestling more than the average person in Indonesia who has just, WWE. That's all they have because to your credit, you got to get something special on the internet in order to watch most of what happens with AEW or New Japan, places like that. It's not as easily exposed. I agree with that.
Okay.
But that doesn't equal greatness. That just doesn't. Now, again, I'm mentioning things like Arsenal, like Move Arsenal. I'm mentioning things like different companies that he's been in. We can go to Bullet Club. Look at how Bullet Club thrived under, and he wasn't the originator of it.
He was.
But 2 other leaders got kicked out, and then he became the leader. And look at how it thrived. Look at what's become of it. Look at the people who were just opponents of them, and people who put on clinical matches with different people in the group, and what they're doing now.
What's this have to do with him being the best wrestler of all time?
We're talking about things in wrestling that matter. When we talk about wrestlers in WWE, we look at factions, things that they've led, and people that branched off and did great things. Triple H is great because of how he did with Randy Orton and Batista. He helped make them. If it wasn't for him making them and making that group, Triple H wouldn't be as high as he was.
Hold on.
Things like that matter.
Didn't Randy Orton start the group Legacy?
Yeah, but that was after.
No.
Cody Rhodes, that's all you got?
Huh?
That's one person.
I mean,
what's Ted DiBiase?
Can I?
Where's Snooker?
Can I
what happened to Snooker? How long was Snooker there?
Can I continue?
Okay, go ahead.
Can I continue?
Yeah.
But I was gonna bring Cody Rhodes, and he made a whole company called AEW. So yeah, you can't beat that though. You can't beat it. He owned Bullet Club now. So yeah, I ain't trying to hear it.
Technically, it's Cody Rhodes. All four of them have stake in AEW, not just Cody. Cody's the face. All four of them have stake. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Cody Rhodes have
Cody
stake
Rhodes
in
got
it.
more percentage.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. But what you're talking about is ownership and stuff like that. They have ownership. They're part of that.
All right, so when you brought the whole thing about, and I said,
Let's talk about Move Arsenal. Why you keep dancing around there? Let's go. Hold on. Let's talk about actual matches. Let's talk about 5- and 6-star matches. Where they at? Where they at, Randall? Where Randall's at?
Randy got 5-star matches. Don't do that. All right, just because you quote unquote state that a Move Arsenal because he could do more aerial stuff and this and that.
More
and
wrestling moves, more moves in the wrestling ring as a wrestler. You're right.
Randy is 41 years old. He's not going to wrestle like he's 30 anymore.
Kenny Omega 40 something.
No. Kenny Omega's 36.
Is he 36?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he's 36 6 years ago. Go ahead, continue. I'm just checking to make sure.
He was 36 6 years
Continue.
ago. Kenny Omega not 40 yet. So yeah. So obviously when you get older, you're going to slow down, wrestle safer, and become more entertaining.
37,
Yeah.
but you closer than I was. Go ahead.
I apologize. 37. Still not 40. But yeah,
You're
like
right,
I said, yeah. Obviously, when you're 40, you're gonna wrestle a different way, so you can have more of a longevity with your career.
Mm-hmm.
And you see how he flipped it. Mm-hmm. Now it's becoming more entertaining and not boring as you say he was back then.
He has to continuously flip it. That's my point. But go ahead.
Because you gotta keep it going. You can't stay the same way. That's how you die out. Because you stay the same way, you're gonna fall in the back and be forgotten. It's just like with the music industry, for instance. You keep rapping like the same way, you're gonna die out.
Everybody
you
in
know
the
that.
industry raps the exact same way
Yeah,
right now.
But if you change
right now.
yeah, for a period of time, then they die out. Unless you are great.
We're not even gonna do that.
So Randy Orton's not a great.
Okay. No, he is a great. I did say
Randy
that.
Orton moveset when he was in his 20s is way different than it's gonna be in his 40s. And you can't say his moveset.
Now.
You can't say his moveset was limited when he was in his early 20s.
It was still pretty limited. And but I will put that a lot of that is on WWE. I will admit that. WWE only allows them to do certain stuff. I will admit that.
Exactly.
But and you made me lose my
Good.
thought. I had a good one, boy.
But
I had a good one about my man. What was it? What did I say about? Okay. He's 37. How old is Orton?
41.
41. That's 4-year difference.
Something like that.
4-year difference. Now, earlier we were talking about how
4
they
years and 6 months probably.
how NXT guys going to WWE, going to NJ New Japan, going over there would be a bad idea because of the style of wrestling would eat them alive.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega thrived over there for how long? Orton's been in WWE for how long? A protective style, which we all just
20
came
years
to
pretty
that.
much.
Yep, 20 years.
Yeah.
So he's been protected for 20 years. And you're saying that he's in worse shape, he's too tired, he can't learn new things more than Kenny Omega.
I never said that. I never said that.
That's what you alluded to, sir.
No,
sir,
I said to
do we have a stenographer in the room? Or stenographer. Anybody typing this up? All right. That's what you alluded to, sir.
That's not what I said. All right. I said y'all wrestle
4-year difference. Yeah, completely different styles.
So you think Kenny Omega gonna continue to wrestle like this when he hit 40?
Yeah. I think Kenny's gonna go all out until he can't no more. I honestly do. That's the kind of wrestler he is. That's the kind of passion that he's always had. Also, we talking about promos and stuff. Kenny Omega can speak 3 languages fluently. What's
Just because you speak 3 languages don't mean.
Some speak menacingly every time, no matter if he's a
I
heel
know
or
you
face.
not talking about somebody trying to speak. When you go crazy about Wyatt speaking crazy this and that all the time,
I go crazy
it's just
about
one time.
Alexa Bliss speaking crazy.
Oh my God!
Right? Not about Wyatt.
Just because he can speak 3 different languages, don't mean he could speak. Cesaro could speak how many languages and how boring is he?
That's a good point.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Exactly. Break it down right there. But with that, because I know you talking about the whole.
I'm still winning this argument.
You're not winning. I'm up by 2 at halftime. Anyway.
Heck no.
But like I said, when you talking about the whole with the fame thing, when I wasn't trying to say fame, even though Orton has been around this long, he's been around this long within the business. That means you have to actually earn it to be there.
He did earn it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying he's not a better wrestler than Kenny Omega.
So are you just going off of wrestling ability
going off of
or going the whole thing?
Overall, Orton is not a better wrestler.
Randy Orton is an overall better wrestler than Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega may be a better in-ring talent than Orton, but the all-around full package,
Kenny Omega.
Hell no.
Kenny Omega been over his entire career.
That's because
he got an 80s hairband haircut.
That's because you like that style. That's
he got
what
a
you
mullet
favorite.
with highlights. And he done had it for 20 years. I don't want to hear that. Orton, what Orton pulling off? Huh?
He got
a fade.
No, a drop fade.
Come on, man.
He has a black barber.
Get out of here.
In St. Louis, exactly.
He do.
His same barber is Jason Tatum barber. Exactly. You can't beat that.
do.
And Jason Tatum got a crisp ass lining.
Yeah. Hey, he's cut up. When he slide, he's cut up. When he got the baby oil on it too to make sure you see that outline. I ain't hating on that. But he's not a better wrestler.
Okay.
He's just not.
All right, J-Bo. We're going to let you speak because it's been a back and forth between me and Harv. And you're always the good middleman. You're the brains of the operation. So,
oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, give us your opinion. Just give us overall everything. How you feel?
So, first off, Cinko.
All right. Also, make the right decision, too, because this whole podcast could end today. But continue, though.
Okay, well, honestly, both Cinko and Harv, you actually both made amazing points when it came to it. It's difficult in my case because I look at it as in layers. There's layers to this. The statement by JR was that he is the greatest wrestler to lace up a pair of boots. Okay, so there's layers to this. The first layer is if he's talking in terms of wrestler, like the actual definition of wrestler, Kenny Omega has that because as a wrestler, he can has been pulling off, and will continue to pull off moves that Randy Orton hasn't or will not ever. And not just flips and stuff, neither. No, it's more technical work. It's more in-ring ability. It's more ring working. Now, Orton, what I will give Orton is that he knows how to tell a story. He is an amazing in-ring storyteller, which is better than Kenny Omega, in my opinion. Okay, he's way better storytelling-wise. But if we're talking about overall, Randy Orton, yes, has way more exposure. He's had more exposure since he started in the business and grew up throughout the business till this day. As far as exposure, he's reached a range that honestly Kenny Omega would not reach as far as exposure goes.
Bars.
But he will not. But if the statement by JR, which was brought up, was who is the greatest wrestler, by definition, wrestler, as in in-ring chemistry, communication, in-ring ability, storytelling too, all of that. Randy Orton has a large part of it, but if you're looking at details by details, actually what Harv brought up, if you were to have a conversation between 3 people, 4, whatever, who actually looks at the specifics of wrestling itself, yes, Randy Orton is limited. And it's not his fault, okay? It's not his fault, okay? Like you brought up the point of the protective style. He thrives off that. That's his career. It worked for him. Kenny Omega, he can do the protective style and he can do the less protective style, and no matter where he's at, it's going to work. So if you look further than what Randy Orton can and has excelled in, there's way more accolades as far as wrestler that comes into play that should be acknowledged. And in those cases, Kenny Omega has that. But I'm not taking anything away from Randy because from what he has been given, he is great, wonderful, one of the best. But that's a strong statement to say the best wrestler to lace up a pair of boots. That's too deep.
This man J-Bo just gave a whole Patrick Clark response
Oh,
to this answer. I want a straightforward answer.
Randy Orton is not the best wrestler to lace up a pair of boots.
Is he a better wrestler than Kenny Omega?
Better wrestler? No, he's not a better wrestler than Kenny Omega.
That's what JR said.
Okay.
Wrestler.
Overall wrestling persona, the whole 9 from head to toe, who's better?
Kenny Omega.
You're sick. You're sick.
Kenny Omega.
That's because you like that
as
hardcore style.
As a professional wrestler, looking at all things professional wrestling, the only two things that Orton, I'll say three things. He knows how the storytelling, and he knows how to create moments.
Accolades.
He knows how to create moments.
Accolades.
Within one company, man.
Accolades.
One company.
Okay, so like I said, with Kenny,
he has.
like,
I'll say because we're
Omega,
American. He has more charisma. He has more American.
But because you say if you have so many opportunities to jump from promotion to promotion, how many titles total has Kenny Omega had in his career?
Top of my head.
Exactly, because it ain't a lot.
Okay. It's quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, quite a few.
He has quite a bit.
Look it up.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue with your point.
No, that was it though.
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, if you want to bring up the point with titles, he's held multiple titles across the world. While Randy
world
Orton has
titles or
held
titles, period.
World titles, world titles, across the world.
I glanced at it for a bit because I had to prepare myself for it. All I saw was one-time champ here.
Yeah.
One-time champ here.
Yeah, world titles.
One-time champ here. 1, 2, yeah. You can count on one hand right now.
5.
Go ahead.
5.
Exactly. 5.
World titles.
5.
In just
Randy Orton has 3 times that, subtract 0.5.
In one company.
How many times he lost? How many times lose title?
You said what?
How many times lose title?
11.
In one company.
How many times Kenny lose title?
5.
Twice.
What that mean?
He holding titles right now.
Okay.
He ain't lost them yet.
They were given to him. Who do you fight?
Okay, now wait. You
okay. No. I was playing. I set myself up a favor now. I'm not gonna get on that topic.
Ooh, he used the G word. Nah. Okay.
Kenny Omega ain't had to fight nobody for the TNA title. But anyway.
There's asterisks all over the place. That's why I'm saying Orton wins if it's because we're America, and America is supposedly the mecca of all things swag and culture and things like that. So promo wise, Orton would always win. Mm-hmm. As far as storytelling and making moments, unless it's against somebody like Okada or what's the dude who's his tag team? I always forget his name. Another Japanese dude with the power bomb.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the best friends or whatever the name was.
Can't think about it. No exposure.
Whatever. Anyway, in storytelling he probably win. And
oh shoot, the camera went off.
God damn it.
So this has been one hell of an episode. Got heated where stuff kind of got cut off. So y'all can still listen to audio right now because it's a lot going on currently. But 1 year. How do y'all feel about this one?
Just so everybody knows before we sign off, the consensus was 2-1 Kenny Omega.
No, we asked the engineer, so this yeah. So,
sir, do you watch wrestling, sir? Nope.
There you go. If you want to choose between 2 names, would you pick Randy Orton and Kenny Omega? He said Randy Orton, y'all.
He said Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega means
perfect.
The end. Yeah. So as a wrestler, Omega sounds more menacing than Orton.
Randy Orton has more money.
No, we're not talking about that.
He's from St. Louis.
He don't know nothing but names.
Okay,
but names. He's going off names. Omega is more menacing than Orton, right? There you go.
There you go.
See, there we go.
He's smaller than him.
3.
So does that even sound more menacing? Randy Orton is 6'5". It weighs 240 pounds.
I'm mad he said him and me and him the same. Okay,
Kenny Omega is 5'8".
So big.
It weighs $150. Okay, no, he probably like 200 pounds.
Exaggerating like hell.
But still, Randy Orton, Kenny Omega. Anyway, we'll move on.
3-1 is what we got it up to.
No, he didn't vote for him. Like, why you gonna lie?
Anyway.
All right. But like I said, that's all the time we have for today for our 1-year anniversary episode. And this will be a wild episode how everything went for just a 1 year with the most technical difficulties ever. But at the end of the day, it's been a lot of highs. I don't say not a lot of any lows for real.
Yeah.
Just fatigue. That's it. But, but at the end of the day, I can truly say I'm not gonna cry. That's why I'm glad there's audio on right now. I ain't gonna cry. I'm just talking. But I can honestly say that this project and this podcast would be nothing without you two. For real.
Hey, that's the most touching thing I think you've ever said in your life, man. It's beautiful.
Even though I'm the quote unquote host, loudmouth, whatever, little entertainment, like this whole ordeal, this podcast, the show, the ideas, merch, social media, and everything would not be known without y'all. Y'all bring a lot of good characteristics to this whole business that we got going on. Like J-Bo, for instance, for an introvert person, you have a lot of personality and character that's displayed, especially on social media, for real. And I love that dynamic that you got. You definitely have a good brain and mindset for the wrestling industry. Like, you guess storylines before they even come out, which is amazing. And
you got the highest win rating,
right? Exactly for just
clean sweeping,
right? And Harv, with your dynamic and love for wrestling, and your straightforward attitude about everything, it's a different type of entertainment too. Is always welcome and good for the whole podcast. Straight shooter, exactly. That's what I love about it. Like I said,
I know we gotta give Cinko some props too, because
we modest over here.
Yeah, right. We got two guys like look a lot into the wrestling aspect, but I mean he looked into the entertainment side a whole lot, so deep in the point where it's like we get it, and he's passionate about it too. That he brings that that loudmouth Enzo Amore attitude.
How you doing?
that cannot be denied. So and the love is mutual, bro.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, you always, like we was just saying, lean more to the charisma side, the character side. So, like, if you weren't here, this would be probably a pretty boring. So, to your credit,
analytical as hell.
You got a little, you got a point there when it comes to the guys in the business. You need a little bit of everything. So, props to you, brother. We wouldn't be sitting in this studio without Cinko. He's showing me things I ain't never seen. Right? Oh no, we ain't gonna do that.
Oh man, put that on repeat.
Right. Oh man, like I said, that is all the time we have for episode 27. I said 21. Episode 27.
21.
And like I said, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms: KTR_podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Another Roast Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, Another Roast Podcast on all podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Podbean. We are on everything. This is the 1 year anniversary show. KTR. And we are out.
1 year later, what should they do, Big Harv?
Pump those numbers and buy a couple shirts. We out.
Yeah, numbers, letters, all symbols of man-made devices that could cripple us all. Improve we can, panicking when storm hits and knocks out the power grid. Are you fully prepared to live off the grid? How you think?